chapter, I believe 29. I'm reading directly from the book God dictated. Isaiah 53, in the day of the Lord, just as Moses wrote the Torah, and just how God had everything past the Torah written by men. I mean, if you had the book of the prophets, do you think he wrote that by himself? No, he had a man do it. I need a boat. I need an ark. And for a story. There's a lot of story in there. But, yeah, I'll get Noah to do it. Hey, I need a temple. I'll get King David and his son Solomon to build it. King David drew all the resources for it. But it was Solomon who built it. They sometimes call it the Temple of Solomon. It took him 10 years. It took him 12 years to build his house. Now, there's an abode to be honored, I'm sure. Chapter 29. Again, I'm just going chapter to chapter, redoing all the videos I started whenever COVID started. When I wrote them, more like 5 years. But the videos, a couple of years, I guess. They're growing. It's getting bigger and bigger. I'm very, I was about to say I'm proud of God, but they can get me slammed to the floor too. I'm just glad we're moving along. I mean, for a long time, 48, 96, 120 views a day was a good day. Now we're looking at more like 350, 500, 1,000 at the best a day. It's a lot of videos. It's a small topic, and the Jewish people are only 2% of the population of the earth, so I don't have a big audience. Again, Singer has like 6,000 followers, but I don't know how many of those aren't Christians. And I'm sure I've had a lot. I look at the comments, they're all derogatory. Nobody believes. And it makes me think, they don't, especially the comments. It's like, you didn't even watch that video to say that. There's just some people who, they read a title, it bugs them, they want to say something. But, okay, we're going to move on. Okay, 29. God's purpose, which might prosper. This is from Luke of the New Testament. I know most of you Jewish people hadn't seen the New Testament. Chapter 18, 31 through 33. Quote, then he, Jesus, that's in brackets, Jesus, took unto him the 12, and said unto them, behold, we go up to Jerusalem, and all things that are written by the prophets concerning the Son of Man shall be accomplished, for he shall be delivered unto the Gentiles, and shall be mocked, and spitefully entreated, and spat on, and they shall scourge him, and put him to death. And the third day he shall rise again. Well, Jewish people, you have 20 of the most accomplished prophets in your book of prophets, and the Christians have them too. I can't imagine they hadn't read this. Except that that's not what it says. 10, which begins, I don't have it. It's about Zechariah. And he changes verse 10 to this. Maybe Luke confirms it, I don't know. But you go ahead. You got 20 plus prophets, Jewish people, Christians in your Old Testament. Go look at it. Go see where it says, for he shall be delivered unto the Gentiles. What you will find is Zechariah that talks about an ass being ridden to Jerusalem, except there he defeats the enemy and the Middle East bows down before him. Doesn't say one word. None of these words are true. It's an absolute fabrication by whoever wrote the book of Matthew. Nobody thinks it's Matthew. and with this hellish writing, you Christians have persecuted the Jewish people, including Germany, which is considered Christian. That's how you failed. Gentiles, Christians. And for the Jewish people like Tobias Singer, who believes God's a God of human sacrifice, I've got nothing to say to you other than you will not be in the scroll of remembrance unless you get to work, and it better be real quick. And you know what I'm talking about if you're paying any attention. I'm tired of being in Texas. The Tanakh, great scroll of Isaiah. I just let that trash go, that garbage. The Tanakh, great scroll of Isaiah. Apocrypha and the Pseudepigrapha are all the possible scripture that Jesus could be referencing. And that one book mentions a human son of God, a man who is God, a man to be delivered to the Gentiles, mocked and scourged and put to death, a man who dies for the sins of other men, any man who is to rise from the dead on the third day, or a man who is sacrificed or made to sacrifice by God. Hey, you think about that, Christians. Why would that lie be in there, which you so fervently believe in, and you're sinless and you're going to heaven? I got news for you. There's not one Gentile out there. I would be the only exception, as Elijah was. The God of Elijah and the Jewish people. The God of Keith and the Jewish people. No Gentiles. None of you are forgiven it. If you just sin and it's just a little bit, fine. Maybe he'll find a heaven for you. I wouldn't bet on it, having known him like I do. He's not near as merciful as you think. There's no, this just in. News. God says there's no heaven for Gentiles, period. That may have been him. Not somebody you mess with, I can tell you that. After the death of Jesus, Apostle Peter taught that Jesus was the man described in Isaiah 53, saying, "For even hereunto were ye called, because Christ also suffered for us, leaving us an example that ye shall follow his steps, who did no sin," reference to 53:12, "neither was guile found in his mouth, who, when he was reviled," reference to 15:3, "reviled not again. When he suffered, he threatened not," reference 53:7, "but committed himself to him that judgeth righteously," 53:11, that would be God, "who his own self bare our sins," 53:5, "in his own body on the tree, that we, being dead to sins," Peter's dead to sin, he don't sin, sinless. What? "That we, being dead to sins, should live unto righteousness, by whose stripes ye were healed. My stripes are my scars, and I got 20 of them. Can't see them all anymore, but you can see the one that starts up here and goes down my belly. For ye were asleep, going astray, reference to 53:6, but are now returned unto the shepherd and bishop of your souls. How's that for a New Testament? I know most Jewish people don't bother with it. How is it? Look, you got 2 million people just hanging on every word. It just simply amazes me. You know, I don't think we're blurring out. I moved that little box thing. It's doing a lot better. God's righteous servant of Isaiah 53 is made suitable for God's purpose, which might prosper. And that prosper which might prosper is found in Elijah, who shall recounsel parents with children and children with their parents. Just like the righteous servant. By being mindful of the teachings, and laws of God given to Moses at Horeb for all Israel, so that when God comes to return to his temple, he does not strike the whole land with utter destruction. If Elijah's purpose does not prosper, utter destruction comes to Israel. Why your rabbis don't teach that? Doesn't sound like a big donation sermon to me. Why is he going to reckon with and dismisses? We think that really just applies a long time ago. Really? When did he do it? Told you. Crabbits, go back, Jews for Jews. When did that happen? If you're just going to ignore it like it doesn't exist, you reckon, you're dismissed, what does it mean? Oh, we don't think it means anything. Really? Huh. All the more to have a little speech or sermon on it, yeah? They're such frauds. Both of them, all of them. Jews for Judaism is a joke. Anti-missionaries. Yeah. And throw out garbage like that. Don't you just stick? Moshe's coming. Why don't you show a little faith? Jews for Judaism, Krabbits, Skoback. What about a little faith? He is coming. God will send the man of Isaiah 11. And he will be described in Isaiah 53 as your Talmud tells you. The sages say, Mr. Skoback. Why'd you change it? If that's what your sages say, why'd you change it? I want an answer. I want to see you on YouTube saying I was wrong. And as I told God about Tovia Singer, I don't think you can do it. Too pompous, too arrogant, and too ignorant to understand what's before you. God's tired of Texas, and so am I. We're ready to go to Israel, and you and Tovia Singer have hindered God. You hurt God, and yet you sit there and pray every day. Well, you keep praying because he ain't listening. You pray all day long for weeks and months. Still doesn't care, and he's still not going to look at you. You're dismissed. And now we got Jesus. You know, these people are just like the Jews. God told me the Jewish people would be different. Remember, I was an atheist for 50 years. They're no different. Listen to this garbage I'm about to read about Jesus from the New Testament. Matthew, chapter 10, verses 34 through 36. Jesus had nothing to do with the purpose of Elijah that might prosper of Isaiah 53 and Malachi 3. Quote, this is 10 and 34. Think not that I come to send peace on earth. This is Jesus. Moshiach is supposed to perfect the world and make a world of peace. Here's your main guy, Christians, and listen up, Jewish people. Think not that I came to send peace on the earth. I came not to send peace, but a sword. Wrath and reckoning ring a bell. For I am come to set a man at variance against his father. Does that sound like Malachi 3, where Elijah recounsels the fathers to the sons? I know I say families to families, but that's how it reads. Father, does that sound like that? I am come to set a man at variance against his father. This is Jesus. And the daughter against her mother. And the daughter-in-law against her mother-in-law. And a man's foes shall be they of his own household. That's your enemy, your family. This is Christianity, people. They just pretend it's not there. He that loveth father or mother more than me is not worthy of me. What? Does that sound humble? Does that sound like love your neighbor? I don't think so. Their book's so screwy. It's absolutely ridiculous. All they got is he died on the cross and he was resurrected. I'm a Christian. I'm forgiven of my sins. Don't worry about them, Jewish people. They're not going to heaven. Just ignore them. Unless you want to take God's wrath to them as his servant, which means deliver me up to them. I'll bring it to them. You tell them who I am. Oh, you can't. We're on chapter 29, I think. If you ain't got it by now, fall off the wagon. I'm still getting plenty of views. Somebody's getting it. No, I haven't finished. Not worthy of me. And he that loveth son and daughter. You love your son and daughter more than Jesus? You kidding, right? Is not worthy of me. That's Jesus. It's hard to find these little Jews. Who do you think is going to be the greatest missionary of all times? If I can get the Jewish people to forget their rebellious nature, the fact they never listen to the prophet, and the fact they don't listen to God. You don't listen to God because you don't listen to the prophet because he talks to me. And all you do is sit around saying, oh, good old world hates us. Hey, I heard a rabbi say the world's going to love us. Really? Oh, that would be so nice. Let's go give him money. Okay, next, 30. These are a few short ones, and I don't like combining them anymore. This is another proof of Elijah, which really I've only covered one time. It's kind of difficult to follow, the first proof. But this is the other proof. It's pretty good.